Alright, let's do something a little different. When I was a kid, we had a Roland piano and a sound generator, a tone generator attached to it. This tone generator, this very one that I have collected from my poor brother's place, would mean absolutely nothing to anyone except for me, but I use this to play the 2 Unlimited main on our poor little piano. And now I'm going to use it as an instrument in reason to help me make music. But to do that, so there's cabling and crap, but the first thing I'm going to need, so this thing takes MIDI in and uses it to generate a tone within here, and then outputs that on these line outs. And then what you would do in a piano situation is you would output the MIDI from the piano to this, and then output these to the in jack on the piano, and then the piano does the mix. I'm going to use it as an instrument in reason, so I need those outputs to go to an audio interface, and thankfully I actually have, so I used to have a Focusrite that I was using for this, but it doesn't have MIDI. But I also have my little Tascam 2XR, 2HR, and that does have MIDI. So in theory, I should be able to set this Mac up to do MIDI out from this to this, and then send this audio back into this, and use it as a track in reason. So, to make sure this all works, the first thing I've got to do is get it all set up in Reason to make sure Reason can actually send MIDI to this. It should be able to, but I haven't tried it before, so I'm going to have to I'll have to close and restart Reason and make sure that that outputs correctly. So I've got that hooked up to my speakers, and then I've got the MIDI cable for once that is working. So, step 1, can we get you connected to Reason? Well, that's going to depend if Reason crashes on me or not. And the answer is, it's going to. Love Max. Okay, I'll be back with you. Alright, so now that we've got Reason back up, we need the Reason preferences. We need to make sure that we have MIDI designed to output on, so we've got US2XR has MIDI in. Can we send to this? It's a Tascam. Not looking good so far. Master keyboard input. Now that lets me input to it. How do I output MIDI from this? Can I go, aha? Synchronizing Reason to, no, okay. MIDI clock output, yeah, okay. So we can output clock on it, yes, good. Now I'm going to need to do some reading. Okay, apparently what we have to do is create a track that is a instrument MIDI out device. Oh, found it on the list. MIDI out device, beautiful. Okay, and then that can output on the there we go. Good. We have output of MIDI in theory, and so if I just send a F4 on that. So just set up a real simple loop. Okay, right, now I've got to hook this sucker up. So I'll be back with you in a minute once I get this wired in. Yeah, okay, got power. Now we have that, and we have MIDI. MIDI can go to in. MIDI could go to through. MIDI is going to go to in. And then I've got the perfectly logical arrangement from 30 years ago of RCAs into 1/4" jacks, because that's such a sensible thing to do. Anyway. Oh, that jackass fucking tied the cables like this 30 years ago. Dad? Look at this. Who does that? Friggin' it looped it and then tied it in. Alright, fine. I'll untangle that crap then. Probably the first time that loop's been undone in 20 years, 30 years, God knows. The thing is, okay, this device here is as old as me. We are talking ancient fucking history here. Wait. Can we get it to turn on? Oh, yes, it turns on. Good. That's a good start. We have, so that does a thing. And then, oh, that's doing a thing. Turn that back down a bit. Synthesize a string. Why is that not giving us stereo though? Should be stereo, shouldn't it? Oh. Christ, I cannot read that. I'm going to need to tip it upwards. If I stick the two on top of each other, here, look. If I stick them on top of each other, it almost looks like I'm a professional. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Bullshit. So, how do I now change? It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a beat to step 2. Change. There we go. Grand piano. Yes, good. Right. Ah, there we go. And now we have. Okay, so if I leave you, I'm just going to leave you maxed. And then. So like the really cool thing about this is you can program your own voices. You can do all sorts of really, really powerful stuff with this, and I'm probably not going to do anything like half of it. But what we should be able to do now is create an audio track that just takes input from the US2XR. I'll figure that bit out in a sec. So we should be able to just create a track that makes an audio input here, but I haven't figured that bit out yet, so just give me a sec. No audio inputs available, please check your sound card settings. I'll be back. Alright, turns out you need to actually, change reason to use the new audio device. But now I can actually see that it's doing a thing. So if I just turn my speakers on. And I can play it directly using this. Ah, fucking cool. Alright, now we're talking. So if I fuck that off for a sec, just shut up. Need another octave. So now what I should be able to do now is go up to, where's my old favourite? We got grand piano, lots of grand pianos. That's nice. I don't want grand pianos. I want because this has a lot of. Here we go. the aqua, and the ooh-qua. And the both. But what we actually care about here is this one. Yes! Now give me a beat. Alright, so there's one other little thing now. So we've got the note track sorted out. I'll just delete this, nick it off. So we've got the note track sorted out, so it'll play. If I take the mute off it, it'll play. And that's awesome. So now I can record the output into another track. Okay, cool. And now if I mute the original MIDI, I've now got that as... But there's obviously a bit of delay there because we can see there's a tiny bit of lag against the actual main track. So I'll have to tinker with that a little bit, but it works. God, some of these instruments sound like they're straight out of the PlayStation. This is this trombone. It's like, oh my god, this is the most ridiculous shit. Like, look, okay, so let's have the tuba. Oh, muted trumpet. French horns. Oh, this is so good. I got so much brass up in here. A whole brass section. Oh, well, this is just the prettiest fucking square synth I think I've ever heard. Yes. Come on. Eat your heart out, Serum 2. We can make Amiga sounds. Check it out, Amiga bass. Oh, I'm getting silly. I'm going to have so much fucking fun with this.